So again, if you can't plant something, you can't plant the trees, just fertilize your native forage. You got openings, put fertilizer out. Start in the spring with 13, 13, 13, and come back every 28 days with 100 pounds per acre of ammonium nitrate urea. But you're going to do all this stuff on those grids. And take your time. None of us in this room are rich. We'll work on this one for a while. And then we'll work on this one for a while. Or maybe we only have one and we'll just work around it till we get it done. But do the things that are cost effective and actually work. This is an 80-acre block that we came in and we harvested some timber, but we landscaped it to get the deer to go where we wanted them to go. And right there's where we put a food plot, and we got a feeder, and we got water, all in the same place. Talked about those. So when you're doing this stuff, develop your native foods first. Plant warm season if you got more than 25 inches or 30 inches, and then tailor your feeding to the needs of your deer. We practice what is called decision-based food plot management. Here's the way it goes. Y'all all plant your food plots too soon this fall. You want to plant on opening weekend of dove season, don't you? Big mistake. Wait till late September. But wait till you have soil moisture and plant. If you don't have soil moisture, wait and then plant. Okay? In the spring, when we plant, say, cowpeas, we wait till we have moisture and then we plant. What if we got a drought like 2 or 3 years ago and it doesn't rain? We don't plant. But we got feed. So we're constantly making decisions. You got to be ready to go. I'll show you in a second here. Well, I can show you right now, I think. We've been planting this summer. Cowpeas. We don't normally plant this late. But we started getting rain up there in East Texas. So we went to work right away. Boom, planted. This is just the other day, 2 or 3 days ago. The peas are up now. We'll show you why they're not going to be carried off. This is one, let me back up. This is one we planted a month ago. It's this tall. Right? We had a rain. And they're very drought hardy. How many of y'all have this problem? Or how about these guys? Ben talked about them. Well, I got involved a long time ago. How about this? We started research back in the 70s looking at developing electric fences for use for deer management and controlling things like raccoons and hogs. And we learned a lot. We were using high tensile wire, and it was very expensive in those days. And since then, we have synthetic materials. We have poly wire and poly tape and synthetic posts and all kinds of stuff. One person can put up an acre in an hour, hour and a half. Or at least I can. This is cowpeas in a fence, July the 8th. Here's Ben standing outside the fence. He's growing a wonderful crop of doveweed. What's the difference? The electric fence. Now this is what the fence looks like. We got 2 designs, a 2-fence design, a 3-fence design. On the outside there's an outrigger that is 18 inches off the ground. 18 inches. 36 inches in, there's a wire 12 inches off the ground, 24 inches off the ground. If we got the third one, 36 inches in, we've got another tape that is 18 inches off the ground. Now, can a deer jump that? Of course a deer can jump that. But we designed it based on what we learned about the vision of deer. Deer have 2150 vision. They're nearsighted and they have poor depth perception. That's why HD camo is a joke. They can't see it, but you can, so you buy it, okay? But a deer will come up and he can't tell the depth there, so he investigates. I'll show you how we set them up here in a minute to get them trained, okay? There's some lucky cowpeas. There's one between the wires. Now, I've heard forever that Texans are hard-headed and slow. I take offense at that. But looking at Texas deer reacting to our fence, they may be right. I guess even our deer are a little hard-headed and slow. So we tested this. We went north to the Yankees to see how Yankee deer would react to the fence. Or how about this one down here? Same way. Bing. They become very adapted to it in a hurry. This doe is diving for chicory. She knows that there's a chicory plant underneath there, but if she doesn't touch the wire, she's going to be all right. So she dives down, doesn't touch the wire, and comes up with a mouthful of chicory. This doe has planted her feet and leaning across and eating all she can, but she's not going to touch the wire. We set our deer up. Let me show you. I did this the other day in that new plot. What I'm going to do here is I'm going along pouring corn along the fence. Part of it inside the fence and part of it outside the fence. That night, or a few hours, that was in the afternoon, a few hours later, he shows up. People ask, will antlers conduct electricity? Yes, they will. And then he comes back with a buddy, and he goes, Now, the total fairness and honesty, there's a spike buck that jumps that regularly. But I don't care about him because I don't need to keep 100% of the deer out. When I sent my graduate student up north, Adam Osmond here, he called me up in a panic one day. The fence doesn't work. I go, what do you mean it doesn't work? He said, there's a deer in it. I go, so? There's a deer in it. I go, well, you just measured the plots. How tall is the food inside the plot? 28 inches. How tall is it outside? 3 inches. And your point is? I don't give a hoot. But this is I was over the other day, this is a nurseryman at Tyler, Texas, and he has not been able to outgrow his trees in a long time, and he just came in and retrofitted one to his fence.